Hello and good afternoon, Xbox Nation. Welcome to this week's new episode of X Vlog Live. I'm your host, Mr. BoomStick XL. Folks, we have an outstanding 70-plus minute show for you today. Two massive topics. One, a little disappointing, but it's understandable. And man, oh man, the Xbox branded consoles, the Series X and S, seem to be doing things they haven't done in a long time, and that's, well, I don't know, sell consoles, because there has been a lot of talk. If you're a fan of fun speculation and Maverick over on his channel, which you should be because he runs a great show on the latest FSP, we had someone who works for GameStop who actually was out there on the socials, actually on the panel, that was saying that in his area, in a few of his actual game stop locations, were completely out of Xbox Series S consoles, both used and new. I saw something that someone posted that I have, that I'm going to read verbatim. In Japan, the Series X was sold out in Japan, which is great. I mean, again, I don't know how many they had, but listen, the fact that it's selling is really good. A couple of other instances where it came in at number 6, at number 7 in other regions. Look, there's a lot to get excited about for Xbox. NCAA 25 is steamrolling the charts. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 launched into Game Pass yesterday. There's rumors that the Crash trilogy is supposed to be dropping on August 8th. That's another one. The floodgates have been open, folks. And of course, we cannot forget and discount that, yes, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to be in Game Pass in October when it releases. But listen, before we get into the topics and, thank a few people in the chat, C Money, my co-host, who obviously runs an amazing show with his wife, Doodle, each and every week, many times a week, as a matter of fact. How you feeling, brother? Welcome back.
Feeling good, man. Feeling really good. Last week had to miss because had to take my daughter to the doctors.
Listen,
But
family first, brother.
we're back,
Family
man.
first.
Absolutely. But we're back. We're back. We're gonna have some fun. It's funny watching these ponies squirm over shit
It
that doesn't even have anything to
is.
do with them. You know what I'm saying? Like the success of Xbox for us celebrating that the Xbox is doing well once it's put in a position where people who didn't switch to next gen consoles yet finally
Yes.
have to make a choice because of a game that's only on next gen consoles that's huge that people want. We're doing good, and they're threatened. They
Yes.
literally we put out a video talking about the football one, and people coming and like clipping us and like saying, look at these look at these bots saying all this stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? Let us just go enjoy your console sales. Don't you enjoy console sales? Is
You
that
know,
all you talk about?
it's interesting. I wasn't gonna start here, but listen, we're rolling, so we might as well get out of the way of this steaming freight train, if you will. Look, the one thing I find unbelievable, see, is the nastiness that comes out of some people when you say, "Oh, Xbox," because the title, and I'm going to read verbatim, folks. The Xbox Series X and S keeps selling out again? Question mark. So it's a question. It's not a statement. It's not every place. It's not every Walmart or Best Buy or Target or GameStop, right? It's not everything. But listen, if you are looking on the socials, like literally today, Lito Papa Boss Mod was just saying it in the chat that people keep posting that it's sold out here, there, and everywhere. Now, is that across the whole world? No, it is not. And no one would even suggest such a thing. But they're doing good enough where they're moving consoles. They're moving consoles, see, because NCAA 25 is the first college football since 2014. Okay. That is a game that's only available on two platforms, the
Current gen.
Xbox
That's
and
it.
the PlayStation. It's not available on the Switch. It's not available on PC, and it's not available on last gen. So people are, like you said, are having to make a choice. And unfortunately for PlayStation, they're selling a $500+ box versus the Series S that is only $300. And if you go to GameStop, you get immediately $25 taken off on it. If you have a PS4 or an Xbox, One, you get 60 to 70 bucks, thanks to Psychonauts who pointed that out. And you're dropping it to just a pinch below $200. That is something that gets you into next generation. And I'm sorry to say, folks, if you, and this is not a slight, because people are casuals. There are 80+% of the market that are casual gamers that don't need the latest and greatest. So if you are coming from a PS4 or an Xbox One X or One S to get to a machine like the Series S that's going to be your 1440p machine, you're going to love what you're seeing because it's better than what you already had. And for
Facts.
$200 in the door, and you go and you buy the game, you're a winner, winner, chicken dinner. And like I said, folks, please do not think that just because they're casuals, they're ignorant to the world. I understand that we're hardcore C, and we understand the nooks and the crannies and where to get Game Pass Ultimate for $9 a month. Maybe they don't, but I tell you what, they will know that Call of Duty is coming into the service, and they already have subscription services, whether it be Peacock, whether it be Hulu or Netflix or Paramount. They're already paying for subscription services. They'll look at this and say, wait a second, I don't have to buy these games. They're in this service, and they go and they get it. Why are
Yeah.
people so in their feels over us
Well,
celebrating Xbox actually winning?
well, because this time, see, this is the problem right now in this phase of the generation. If people are starting to choose Xbox, it's because they're seeing that in their situation, it's the best place for them to be, because again, like you said, these are more of the casual people, right? 4 years into a generation, your hardcore players have already essentially came in, right? Yeah, there's still going to be some that are waiting financially, holding off. But let me tell you something right now. This whole idea of casual, like we had a conversation on our show about it. Like we throw that around a lot, right? Because people don't play 50 million games, right? They play a game or two games or three games and that's it, and they get really good at those games, and it's hard to say, to like with a straight face look at somebody and be like, man, this dude is casual, when you get into Call of Duty multiplayer and you get wrecked by these quote unquote casuals, right? they're not they're not casuals, they're just selectively hardcore, right? Like they only mess with a certain type of game. So the problem for the new generation of consoles, the reason why PlayStation, half of the people who own the PlayStation 4 didn't move over to a new PlayStation 5 or to any generation console. Same with Xbox, why so many people didn't move yet is because this generation has been, I mean, just to be very specific, for next gen has been ass, right? We're not talking about the games. The games have been great. We've had great games, but the next gen of it, like the point of, hey, you need a new console to experience this amazing thing, we haven't had it, right? Hellblade finally kind of popped off with that. And that was a huge one. Starfield was a huge one, right? Like we Xbox side, we've been getting into it, but let's be real, like Starfield is a hardcore gamers game, right? That's not a casual gamers game. So that was never going to be a game that made people who were on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One and make them say, "Yo, I need to go do this." It's just not in droves, because it's a, again, more of a hardcore game, and those casual gamers still have the casual games they want. And when we say casual game, again, I want to kind of get away from this idea that Call of Duty means casual. What it means is that Call of Duty is like a sport, right? Like you don't
Indeed.
call you don't
Yeah.
call like an NBA professional athlete he's a casual athlete because he doesn't do football or soccer or hockey. right? He only does basketball, so he's a casual athlete, right? No, right? He's a professional like these. Just because you focus on one or two things doesn't mean you're casual.
Right.
So I think we as a group have to kind of put a little more respect on the name of people who do spend so much time playing certain games to a high level, right? Like that's just commitment, right? We're just people who can't focus long enough on something to get that good, right? Um, but the point is those people who haven't moved, they've had the games that they want still coming to them, right? The Call of Duty people who love Call of Duty, not everyone can justify spending $500 or even, $300 to play a game that they can still play, right? They don't care if it's shinier. Like, the hardcore people, it's funny because we're hardcore, right? But when you think about how we handle stuff. Like we think about the games and the box that we're playing them and the resolution that we're playing them and all this other stuff. These people don't give a shit. They just play
No, they
games,
don't,
right?
dude. They
They
don't.
just play the game. They don't care if they can get a version of it that's slightly better. That's why the Amazon Fire Stick is going to crush because these people don't they're not the same, right? They don't care that the resolution is not perfect. They don't care that the frame rate is not amazing or 120 frames or the highest frames. It's just not reality. So these people have had the games they wanted. So Madden players, the football players, they got their game. It comes every year. They don't have to worry about it until EA says Madden is out of the older gen and is going to be next gen only. There wasn't going to be any movement there. Same thing with Call of Duty, right? As long as it keeps coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, those people are fine. They're happy. They don't care. But what did we see, right? What did we learn right now? Well, we learned when push comes to shove and there is a zeitgeist game, a college football that hasn't been out for 10 plus years, that is not only just coming out and you know, fulfilling the college football need, but it's a phenomenal game, right? People are happy with this game. This is not something that people are like, "Oh my god, they dropped the ball. The game is not fun. The game is not good." It's pretty much already done what the original used to do, where the hardcore football fans, right? So I would say there's a difference between football fans and Madden fans, right? There's people who are Madden fans who will just play Madden because it's what they know, is what they love, and they're not going to do it any other way. But then there's football fans who want to play Madden, who play the college game, and most of those people from anecdotally, I'm not a football crazy person like that. So, but I've always heard that people enjoyed the college game more than the NFL game because it was more lively. They took more risk. It was funner, right? So it looks like that's already happened, right? It looks like that game has already surpassed Madden in a lot of ways for a lot of people. So if you're somebody who was on your box playing, your Madden and just living that life, and now all of a sudden you say, "Oh snap, the new college football game's coming out and it's next gen only." And again, I know we're in current gen. I say next gen because again, I feel like we haven't really we haven't really embraced current gen with anything for real. So when they got the choice, right? When they got the choice and say, "Okay, I need to go and get a next gen console because I can't play college football 25." They are now put in a position where they have to choose. Do they spend 500 for the Series X or the PlayStation 5? Or do they go and spend $300 and get in at the cheapest price point that you can on next gen? And we've talked about this a lot on our show. When push comes to shove, those quote unquote casual people, the people who do not care enough to jump to the highest quality console because they're going ahead and they're playing the games they want to play on their older console. Those people, when given the option, they already had the option. They didn't go and spend the $500 necessary to be in the next gen. They already had the option. That option never went away. They just don't care. So when given the option, they're going to go the cheapest route. And that was the genius of Phil and the team. This is why coming in at a double skew where you have a high end and an entry level next gen console is finally showing why it makes sense, why it was
Indeed.
such a smart move.
Yep.
Because now we're finally in a position where those people have to make a choice because they are, in fact, gamers who want to play the latest and greatest game. They just have a particular game that they love. And now they're there. They're there. They have the college game. It's only on next gen. What has happened? Tons of people have purchased the Series S. People are talking about GameStop. We were at Target. They have a whole shelf there of college football. It's all the Xbox versions. They had like one um the PlayStation version is just in the aisle, out in the not in the aisle, in the gaming aisle. When you're just walking the normal aisle, they have a big stand that had all the college football games, and they were mostly gone, but they're all the Xbox version. And on the sign, they have a special deal that says if you buy the football game, you get 20% off a Series X. Okay.
Whoa.
Now, if I went and looked, there was one Series X there, no Series S's. All the S's were gone. There's PlayStation 5s, no Series S whatsoever. There was one Series X left. So I think they're
And this
looking
is
at this saying,
firsthand. See, this is what frustrates me as just a human being. See, because what? Why do you have? Would you lie? No, you wouldn't. Right.
"What?
So you're reporting boots on the ground. I'm in the store. This is what I'm seeing with my own eyes, and there are yet people challenging it. The same thing with today. I did a 30-mile search.
Mhm.
Was talking to you in the green room. And I just want to add some context to what you're saying. I'm going to hand the mic back to you. I did a
Yeah, sure.
30-mile search. My wife and I, we're in Westchester County, right? So I did a search for in store Series S, both used and new. And you know where I got? I got two locations that had one each, and they were both used. One was in Brooklyn, and the other one was in the middle of Manhattan. So I'm in Westchester County. I'm way outside of the five boroughs. So the closest store. Now, I mean, folks, you don't need to be a maptician to see where I'm going with this. I'm in
Yep.
I'm in Westchester County. I do a 30 square mile search, and only two stores come up in the five boroughs. And if again, I don't know how many stores that are in a 30-mile radius, but I'm going to say 15 to 20.
Yep.
And that's just taking a blind stab at it. So, folks, don't get in your feels over stupidity. These consoles are selling, but they're selling for a reason. We are presenting facts to you. Don't get on the socials and be a D-bag about it because PlayStation 5s aren't selling. I don't know
They're
what to
so
tell you.
they're so
Xbox
butthurt
is
about it,
winning,
bro.
folks. Please
They're
continue.
so they're so upset about it, and they're upset about it because it's not a it's not something that's just like a one-off situation, right? What's gonna be the norm, and this is the reality of it, as more games that are in the zeitgeist, so the bigger games, as they start to move away from multi-generational releases, so they're getting out of the old and just focusing on the new. As that happens, more and more of those people who were sitting on the side because they got their favorite game, and I'm talking about NBA, the people who love NBA, the people who love the soccer games, right? All these people, bro, there's so many of them. Every time one of these games goes next gen only, there's going to be that decision that's made. And again, because of Xbox's ability to have produced a console that was cheaper. And let's be clear, like this is not a cheaper crappy console. You're not getting some shit console because you bought the Series S. You're getting a high performing console. Is just not at 4K. does everything else that the big brother does, right? Has 120 FPS games, way more than PlayStation 5 does, right? Like this is no slouch, right? So every time one of these older generation games goes full next gen, we're gonna see the same thing. The difference is it's gonna get worse because what's gonna happen is come this fall, right? Black Friday is going to be a
It's gonna be
massacre.
legendary, dude.
It's gonna be a massacre, dude.
It is.
The
It
Series
is.
S is gonna be down to more than likely
Under
199.
$200.
Yeah,
If I'm
199
look, I'll
to
put it to this
150.
way. Let's go based on the numbers. Let's not go based on opinions here because we don't want anybody else losing their shit because they're in their fields, right? Let's go based on numbers. Last Black Friday, go back and look at the numbers, folks, because I love evidence-based conversation because you can't argue numbers. You want to argue an opinion, I hear you, but you're not going to argue the numbers. There were places that were selling the Xbox Series S last year for under
Yeah,
$215.
150. I
Yeah,
saw
I
150,
saw
man.
it 217. I saw it 219. I saw it 221. In some places that were refurbished, I seen 198. Right? That was last year. Well, now we're moving into a year where, and again, this, let me just say this: the fact see that NCAA somehow or another skipped PC and last gen and is only available on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S. Do you understand how that helps Microsoft hurdle over Sony? Because people in 2024 do not have money to waste. It is too expensive for everything. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Again, giving a shout out to the FSP and Psychonauts who talked about it on the show, where if you have a PS4 or an Xbox One X, you can trade it in for 60 or 70 bucks, right? The Series S is $300. That wipes it down to 230. They have a deal if you spend over a certain amount, you get $25 taken off. That gets the Series S to $205 to get into next gen. And it just so happens that this football game has exploded on the scene. Modern Warfare 3 just launched into Game Pass. They just launched season 5. And P.S. by the effing way, Call of Duty Black Ops, the pinnacle title of the Call of Duty series, is going into Game Pass. I don't think even Microsoft could have predicted this coming together of all of these titles.
Facts. Facts. I agree. I agree. It's the perfect storm right now of everything that is coming. Plus, again, when you think about Xbox in particular, that conversation is, man, this game, like there's gonna be people who want NCAA who even at the $300 can't justify paying for a next gen console right now.
Right.
But for Christmas time, there's going to be a lot of people taking advantage of those deals who want to get into these next gen games. And then at the end of the day, you got to look and be like, well, come Black Friday, what's going to be out? Right?
Yeah.
What games are going to be out aside from that one? Right? And all of a sudden, things look even better because you're talking Avowed being out, Stalker being out, you know, Indiana Jones on the horizon, you know, all these other games that we have coming to Xbox. It's like there is so much content that's going to be there on top of the current gen, you know, version of their game that's making them want to switch. I mean, at these prices, bro, there's no competing, right? There's no fighting it. And again, I'm not like, to be clear, I'm not necessarily saying anything about the fact that, you know, Xbox is going to outsell PlayStation. Like this has nothing to do with PlayStation. It doesn't matter what PlayStation does or doesn't do. The point is that Xbox is going to be the preferred choice for a lot of people when financials come into play. And if we
Yeah.
think about the world on a whole, right? And we think about the financials on a whole of most of the people out there, most of the people out there are not financially wealthy. Most of the people out there are looking for these deals, are waiting till they can go ahead and do it. There's plenty of parents who are waiting to get a next gen console for their kid because they know how much their kid loves to play games. They just can't
Yep.
afford it. And
Yes.
now come Black Friday, when they see a sale for 150 or 200 bucks or 250 to get that game that they know their kid has been whining about nonstop. He wishes he could play the college football game, but he can't play the college football game because he doesn't have the next gen console. This is just what's going to be it. And when they're going through the pages of, Target or Best Buy or
Yep.
Walmart, and they get those little Christmas booklets, and it shows PlayStation 5 500, okay, 450, $400, shows Xbox Series X 450, $400, and then shows the Series S with the picture of college football, the picture of the Black Ops 6 Call of Duty, the picture of whatever other game they want to throw on there, and they show 199 or 175 or
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's no matter how you cut it, bro. There's no way that those people don't say, "Oh shit, he can play that
Yeah.
game that he wants on this game on this console, and it's only $200." Absolutely, that's what we're doing.
I'll add
Absolutely,
some more
that's what we're doing.
context to that. Remember last year, and it's funny, we talked about this last year. Do you remember the deal that Xbox was specifically doing with Target, where they were selling the Series S for $239.99, and they let you pick a game? What if
Yes.
they do that again, and it's college pick, they throw 3 games up there: college football, Call of Duty, because they're going to do that. And Call of Duty is going to be on the box, and they're going to say Xbox Game Pass. You're going to get it for $20. It's going up in September. Yeah, again, that was the big story. Even at $20, what would you rather do? Spend $20 to get Call of Duty, not only Modern Warfare 3, but you're getting Black Ops 6, you're getting Indiana Jones, you're getting Avowed, you're getting Flight Sim, you get Hellblade 2, you get Forza, you get Starfield, you get Halo, you get all of these things in this service for $20, and a console that's going to be a pinch over 200. And they may, and again, this is just me just spitballing here, they may have one of those deals, chat, that says, yeah, buy the console, pick a game. You've seen it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And it may not just be Target. They may partner up with Best Buy. They may partner up with Walmart. They may partner up with GameStop. They may run the gambit because they know. I mean, look. See, the thing is this. Right now, Sony understands that they're in a pickle. Okay? Concord came out and flopped beyond flopped. Okay? That
So
game
bad.
is coming out. It's not even a free to play game, folks. It is a pay for game. You have to buy that game for $40. That game is going to bomb in the worst way possible. Okay? Think about this for a second. Sony's big get for 2024 is Concord versus Black Ops 6, and a console that's upwards of $500 right now versus a console that, with a trade-in and a deal at GameStop, you can get for a pinch above 200. Listen, I'm telling you right now, it is going to be a bloodbath this fall. And like I said, I don't know how long it's going to take for market leadership to change. It may have to wait until next gen. I don't know. It's not going to happen overnight, but I can tell you, when you look at what Xbox is doing and the partnerships they have. I mean, look, I'm reading a tweet from the Black Viking here. It says, "No console, no problem," and he has pictures of what the best selling listed on Amazon today, right now, brand new, 488, refurbished, 449. Both best sellers on Amazon. And somehow we're making this stuff up. But see, I don't know. You please, if you have any additional context, by all means.
No, I mean, look, again, it's we're in a different phase of the generation where you're aiming at getting these people who haven't come over yet, to get them to come. And this is where we're seeing people want to go. because of the cost. And this is just what it is. We know that these people who only play these one or two games, they don't care what box they're on. They just buy the one that can play it or makes sense to them or the one that they hear about the most. This is going to be a game changer, especially, this is not just now, right? Imagine, right, when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
Yup.
That's going to be the biggest game that is going to force people to go ahead and say, "Oh snap, I want to play that. I need a next gen box." Again, as easy as it is to think, "Oh man, those people are going to want to play it on the best version and on the most expensive boxes." Again, those people, if they've been happy doing what they're doing on the not most expensive boxes, Series S is still going to be a massive upgrade for
Yep.
them visually and frame rate wise. It's all going to be there. So, yeah, this is going to be a huge shift, man. People are going to say, I want to play Grand Theft Auto. I'm going to get the Series S, man. It's just what's going to happen. It's just what's going to happen over time. Going to prove out that Xbox is going to catch up a lot this generation
Yeah.
because the rest of this generation are the casuals, again, quote unquote casuals coming over, and they're going to be choosing the series. It's all going to be, honestly, it's all going to be based off of Xbox's ability to make the consoles.
Yes.
If they can make enough Series S's to make an impact, then they will have that impact. If they don't, then they'll just keep selling out whatever ones that they make, and then that will be it. But that's really what this is. It's just, can they make enough going into the rest of this generation to actually do that? Now, to be fair, I think Xbox so far has been more of a front to, mid life cycle, like, banger. Like, a lot of people buy it beginning and in the middle because Xbox kind of tapers off and gets into their next gen and doesn't focus as much on the complete back end of it. But since this generation kind of got off to such a rocky start, this might be the first generation that is going to go where Xbox is just rocking literally up until and probably past when the next gen comes out. So we might see Xbox keep producing and keep pushing the Series S and things like that as the entry point into next gen, right? So we're gonna see, man. But I think again, these butt hurt ponies who want to cry and, fucking freaking Porter Rock taking one of my videos and watching it and trying to dissect it, talking about how they better win MPD. Nobody cares about
Yeah.
MPD.
They care about
Doesn't
console
matter.
sales, but them holding on to this MPT thing. First of all, I'm sorry to say, folks, FYI, Sony is just not beating Switch. They're
Ah,
just not. They're
you're
just not.
losing anyway, dog.
So it's are we talking about number 2 to number 3? I mean, I guess, but also there, all you have to do is pull yourself back, and I'm going to use a line from I Steal Rain from, of course, Living Split Screen. He takes himself and he pulls himself back into that RTS look where you're viewing the whole map in front of you. We're not finite watching just one aspect of Xbox gaming. They are here, there, and everywhere. You can play on your TV. You can play on your Fire TV Stick Pro. I mean, 4K Max. You can play on your PC. You can play in your traditional console. They've given you a plethora of ways to play your game. Take your controller and go. Okay. Sony is eventually going to get there. I don't care what anyone says. They're working on it. They're always 2 steps behind. And again, listen, no one's saying that because of all of this, somehow or another, Sony's going to die. Sony's not going anywhere. PlayStation is a strong brand. No one is suggesting that. What aggravates the shit out of me is when people who in this community, and again, let's get this clear, see. PlayStation gamers are different than people in the community that are PlayStation masochists who just go out of their way to be evil, to be mean. And the minute you say something positive about another brand that's not PlayStation, they come for you. Listen, it's you come on, chase trends all you want. the truth of the matter is that Xbox is on the upwind. Sony is just drifting. They're driftwood right now. No roadmap, right? Their live service game that hit like a ton of bricks in Helldivers 2 has completely fallen off the map. Now, will people come back with new content? Sure. Let's get the new content and talk about those numbers. Concord is a flop.
Maybe new consoles.
No, yeah, I mean, PS5 Pro, is it releasing this year? I don't know. Is it $700? I don't know, because they're not talking, right? Astrobot, super stoked for. Lego Horizon, buying it for the Switch. You got my money. It's not a problem. But that's all they got, folks. That's it. And if you're gonna take what I just said right now and compare it to what Xbox is doing and trying to make that a negative story, listen. Stop fronting straight up, because now you're just lying. Now you're just lying to make a conversation that makes no damn sense. But what I want to do is I want to move on to the Stalker 2 news. It's a bit disappointing, but it's also understandable. Before we get there, of course, I got to talk about the Volare gaming pillow. And the reason why I'm talking about it today is because yesterday I met with both owners. We sat down and we have planned out the actual release of the double barrel gaming pillow that is going to be exclusive to the Volare gaming pillow brand. Listen, folks, when you start YouTube, most of us do like videos, and we do it because we enjoy, like being a part of the gaming, populace, right? I happen to get my shot on Crossfire with Mooch and Crap Gamer. And again, I understand that it's not the same show that it once was, but I always still have to tip my cap to Mooch, who gave me a shot to be on his show all those years ago. I'm never going to forget that, because without him opening the door for me to have a voice, this podcast doesn't exist, right? Thanks. So obviously, I made my own show with Breakfast with Boom to start. And then, well, here we are. We have a network of shows that I do 5 days a week. And in doing so, this becomes ultimately a small business. And when I say it's mom and pop, folks, it is indeed mom and pop, because it's Mrs. Boom and myself. And well, that's it. And when people recognize what you're doing and they want to work with you, it's a big deal. It's an even bigger deal, ladies and gentlemen, when someone says, hey, you've sold a bunch of pillows for us. We love the work that you're doing. We love the way you're repping our brand. How about we make a branded, our own brand on a pillow? That is a freaking monster deal, dude. Like, that is a really big deal for us. So with that said, we partnered with the Volare Gaming Pillow Company, and they are currently mass producing the cover and the pillow for Double Barrel Gaming. They are in the process of making a pre-order page. When that pre-order page is live, we will, of course, share that with the world. And like I said, I do have a 35-second commercial that you've seen before. There is a code at the back end of it. So please, if you are waiting for if you want to order your pillow now, please, they have amazing pillows. They've partnered with what's that Titan anime? Something Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. They've partnered with them, and obviously we gave one of those away during the E3 event in LA, which was really dope of them to send a pillow. And we gave that away to a winner who happened to be in the audience. And they have some big news. I can't share their news. It's not my brand. But when you see who they've partnered with next, you're gonna buy a pillow. But listen, real quick, let me run the commercial. And obviously, at the end of it, it's the code for 15% off of your order is DBG15. That is D like in David, B like in boy, G like in George, 15 for Double Barrel Gaming for short. And of course, you'll save 15% off your order. Please check it out. And there you go, folks. There's the commercial that was brought to you by Sean Labrie, one of the most talented artists in the game. Big shout out to Sean, and of course for helping us bring this commercial to life. Of course, again, real quick before we continue the conversation, we get into the super chats. Before we get into the second half of the show, is of course DBG15 at checkout, and obviously if you're waiting for the double barrel gaming pillow, that is pretty dope that you would be waiting for it. That will be as soon as the product page for pre-orders is ready, they're going to send it to me. I will share it with everyone, and of course we will reiterate the 15% off of your entire order. But let me catch up on super chats, and then we will get into the remainder of the show. And the first one comes the way, C Money, of Gamer by Choice, who's been a channel. Folks, this is crazy because this is as long as the channel has been around. Gamer by Choice, who's been a channel member for a whopping 57 months. That is just complete madness. Gamer by Choice, we are incredibly humbled by your generosity.
Awesome.
He goes on to say, some gamers are tribal, and I think that if one console is doing well, then the other has to be doing bad. Instead, we should be happy that people are buying consoles and people are happy playing games. I mean, yeah, be happy that people are playing. Absolutely. Roberto Z, welcome, Roberto. Thanks so much for the generosity. He drops a $2 super chat and says, get the green, get in between. Good morning, Boom, C Money, and everyone. Good morning to you, brother.
Good morning, fam. Fucking Roberto.
Thank you so much for the generosity, Roberto. We also have here Will Broke Boy Lewis. Now, by the way, not only does he drop a super chat, not only does he once again gifted 5 double barrel gaming memberships last night, right before we closed out, and I did not see it, Will, and I send you my humble apology. He gifted 5 double barrel gaming memberships last night while we were closing out Primetime Gaming. I did not see it until, of course, we were closed out, and K Asante was like, "Hey, Boom." He gifted. I'm like, oh crap! I hate when I don't give you the credit where credit is due because we're not owed anything. So he, in a matter of hours, has gifted 10 double barrel gaming memberships. Will, we cannot thank you enough, brother. OPS, by the way, be on the lookout. I sent you your tracking number via email, so you I think your stuff is going to arrive tomorrow. Again, that's all the winners that from the Christmas in July giveaway that we did. But thank you again. And his $5 super chat, he goes on to say, not sure if people saw when Modern Warfare 3 dropped onto Game Pass, they also started giving discounts for Call of Duty points and the bundles that cost money, not points. Oh, why I did not see that. It's smart. It's smart. And again, they launched it the same day as Season 5. I mean, it's business 101. They understand how important Call of Duty is. So again, they're going to make a ton of money. B Martin 001 drops a $3 super sticker. Martin, thank you so much for the generosity, brother. Appreciate you being here. We have Raw Rebel in the chat. Raw, welcome to the program. Thank you for the generosity. He drops a $5 super chat and goes on to say, if Microsoft is smart, they would pay out the wazoo for the GTA 6 marketing. It's bound to sell the Series S consoles. Look.
Or they could buy Take-Two.
Well, they could buy Take-Two. And they absolutely do. But Raw Rebel, here's the thing. You are on to something. And I'll say this. I'm not a business manager or a market manager. I don't have a degree to be able to tell anyone what to do with their money or how to invest their money. I'm going to say this as a human, right? Just as a human being. You own Call of Duty. You have some of the most stout first-party games lineup in gaming. They have a better lineup than Nintendo. They have outclassed PlayStation on a level of 10-1, right? And every one of their first-party games are going to PC. So they have that covered. If you, and I mean Microsoft, are smart, you turn around and you pay 2K whatever that blank check is to get marketing rights Because just imagine next year when it's supposed to release. Let's just say for shits and giggles, see that GTA is coming out, I don't know, November or September, just in time for the holiday. Could you imagine a box, whether it be the Series X or the Series S, where they have the next Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto 6 on the same box? And that's a 200 and a $400 device. Do you understand that they would destroy everyone in their path? So if it's $1 billion to get marketing rights, you spend it. If it's 2 billion, who gives a f? You are Microsoft. You spend that money because you are going to make bank on these consoles being sold, having marketing rights. And any you want to add something to that? See,
I mean, honestly, for me, when you start thinking about that type of money, it's like, well, buy the building, bro. I feel like Take Two. I listen, I have a whole thing with Xbox and what they want to achieve, and I think we see it play out right now with what they currently own. They are looking, they said it in emails like the one with Matt Booty where he says spend them out of
yes,
business.
spend them
Everybody
out of
stops
business.
there,
Indeed.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody stops there on that part. But if you keep reading it, what he says is about uh being the Disney of gaming,
Yep.
owning all the most valuable IP. Right? And right now, Call of Duty is one of the most valuable IP out there. Minecraft, one of the most valuable IP out there. They have World of Warcraft. They have these big, huge IPs,
Tentpole franchises.
tentpole that have nothing to do with Xbox as a brand and more to do with gaming as a whole, right? Call of Duty is something that people who don't know that Xbox exists know about, right?
Yep.
And that's the reality of what this is. They want to own the most popular stuff in gaming, the most popular IP in gaming. One of those people, okay, one of those companies is Take Two, who happen to own Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
Grand Theft
dude.
Auto is one of the most played games, most sold games ever. This is a huge zeitgeist game, and again, Xbox, that's why the idea that Xbox is putting their games everywhere is so funny. They don't need to, right? That's why they're doing all this other stuff because all these games that are surrounding their first party, like their actual first party, they're making exclusives, all these games that are out there, they make so much money on a constant basis. We're talking, we love to act as if King is not there. That's just
Yeah,
printing
we always
money.
forget about that too, right? We forget about the
They're just
mobile arm. Yeah.
printing money every single day. It's nonstop. Xbox has all of this around them, and that's what they're looking to gain. You buy Take Two, you get that, you get NBA. Obviously, you don't own the NBA license, but for the most part, they're the only NBA game that matters, right? So you own that. That's a yearly thing. You have all of this stuff that comes. You even get Borderlands, which is now remember Take Two bought bought Gearbox. So they own Borderlands, which was a very, very big IP. It's definitely recognizable. But I think
Well, they
that
have a
that's
film. They have a movie coming out too. So
yeah, they do. So I think for them, I think what we've seen for Xbox is that they much rather buy the building than spend crazy amounts
I agree.
just to get the marketing for it. I mean, will they do it? Listen, Satya said they're gonna double down, that they're not done. Doubling down to me doesn't mean we're only gonna go for small fish after this. Doubling down means we're going for big stuff still. And again, as big as Take Two is, they're not bigger than Activision, right? So Xbox already climbed the mountaintop, right? They already bought the biggest publisher that they can buy. Now it's time to just double down, get some more. You buy them, man, you're set. And then, we know about, the rumors of Steam buying Valve. That's also a
Yeah.
possibility. You start, man, the, everything starts getting crazy when you think about what they can own. But for this, again, I agree. Getting the marketing would be smart, but I think that I think they'd rather buy the building.
I mean,
That's my
look.
that's
I'll
my
say
idea.
that you're not wrong about buying the building. Again, why spend for the marketing when you could simply own the IP? And again, at this point, I mean, look, I, I don't
Like,
know
it's
if
not
it's
an
even
exclusive play. It's not an exclusive
no,
play.
no,
They're not buying it
no,
to
it's
make it
not.
exclusive. They just wanna own it. They just wanna
But
own it.
there would be something to say. It's game over. Like, I'm sorry. PlayStation becomes an app at that point. If somehow or another, obviously they completed the deal with Activision. I don't care what the FTC says. They don't have a freaking leg to stand on, and they know it, right? That's gonna end soon enough. And once that's done, if Microsoft somehow went out and got Take Two, and that's under the Microsoft banner, bro. It is over for PlayStation. I'm sorry. It's just, and again, you said it. It's not an exclusivity take. No, because they'd be ridiculous to try and make that exclusive. No, they're going to put that here, there, and everywhere, and it's probably going to continue to sell really well on the PS5, probably even more so than an Xbox. But if you can say that Xbox Game Pass has the next Grand Theft Auto, holy shit! It's something to talk about. But let me catch up on these last three super chats. Now we're going to get into what happened with the Stalker 2. We have the official press release. We're going to hear what the new release date, why it has happened, and what's going on with it. JJ saying, oh no, hold on a sec. Will Broke Boy Lewis drops an additional very generous $5 super chat. And he goes, I'm playing the Activision Deadpool game today, getting ready for the movie tonight. Keep up the good work, Boom. You too see money. And hi to
Yes.
Doodle for me, brother. Thank you so much for the kind words. And of course, the unbelievable generosity.
We're seeing it
Like I said,
bright and early tomorrow, bro.
yes,
We're seeing it
me too.
9
I'm going with my brother.
AM.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. We're going to we're actually gonna go we're gonna have breakfast. And obviously I'm not Boom to him, I'm his brother, so it doesn't really count, but I'm gonna have breakfast with him, and then we're gonna go to
Oh,
the
breakfast with Boom. That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, literally breakfast at Boom. No, and again,
Nice.
just a quick reminder: no breakfast at Boom tomorrow. I'm taking a day off to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, because that is that the MCU is back in a big way. I'm very excited
You
for
saw
that.
the GameSpot review, they gave that shit a 4?
They're just
Come on,
dumb.
man. Come on,
They're
man.
just you know why they did that. They didn't do that because the movie's a 4. They did it because people are going to click on it and share it and say that they're stupid. This is why
Yep.
GameStop is garbage. GameSpot is garbage. I'm sorry. They
Facts.
just they are the Inquirer of video game news. Sorry, that's just who they are. But
Facts.
whatever. Again, don't pay a mind to those fools, because they're just looking for clout and clicks. It's disgusting. JJ saying
Agreed.
117 drops not one but $2 super chats, and the first one says, "I'm surprised Marvel Rivals is doing better." Yeah, everyone's playing it. I'm not
Oh.
playing it. I'm gonna wait for it to come out.
Bro, you know, it's so funny. It's so funny because we're not talking about it on this episode, but just to kind of bring it up, you brought up
Yeah.
Concord before, how shitty they're doing, right? Understand, like this is oh man, why it's so funny to me. Concord came out, did dog shit. It did dog shit with when it
2,000
was
people on Steam, like
when it was a closed
2,700
beta,
maximum.
and then when it was an open beta, dog crap, right? Nobody cared. It's a
No.
fart in the wind. Yo, the Marvel Rival closed beta came out, and it did so not barely got over 2,000 for Concord. The closed beta, 50K,
Yeah, 50K.
50K.
Yeah, it's like
Brand
10
new
to 1.
IP, just like
50
Concord.
to 1. Yeah.
How is Concord going to breathe? There is no breath. There is no place for it to live. It will die. We we were on the show the other night. We put a poll up to see what everybody thought. People gave it 90 days. People were giving it 90 days before they pull the plug on that game. Some people think 6 months. But that game is dead. The game is dead. The studio's dead. Firewalk is they're gonna go
Yeah,
out in flames. That's what's happening.
unfortunate. It's an unfortunate because they're gonna wind up closing that studio.
It's
There's no
gone.
doubt about it. Yeah.
They're DOA. I don't know how you're not working on that game right now, saying to yourself, "We have no future. It's over." I feel bad, but it's the truth. I hope they get the resumes updated. There's no place for that studio making that
Yeah.
game. Not
Not in
happening.
this day and age. I'm sorry, it's
No,
just not.
it's
His
not, bro.
second super chat of $2 says the Switch will surpass the PS2 in sales soon. Yeah, that's no doubt. It is going to surpass the PlayStation 2 sales as the greatest console sales of all time. The Switch is it's a winner. Sorry.
That's
Okay,
all you're gonna have at
this
the end. Switch 2 and Xbox. PlayStation has no place anymore, dude.
app, PlayStation app.
They don't
Yeah.
Yep, they don't have a
Yeah.
place.
We'll see.
Truth.
We will see. But King says he's 98.9% right at the time. He says no PlayStation 6. Hashtag Kong is dead. So we will boot on next
We'll see, man.
season. Big Mad Mo. Hashtag boot on next season. Indeed, sir.
That's right.
So
That's
we have
right.
okay. So this is a name. Okay. The Flying Vegetable Nutsack drops a very generous 2 pounds
That's my
super chat.
saying, yo.
And he goes on to say, hello to you, Boom. Hello to you, kind sir. Thank you so much for being here. And says, my creator, C Money. Holy matrimony. What is
What's up,
happening?
player? I
Giggity
say that every
'08
once
drops
in
a
a
very
while.
generous $2 super chat and says, regulators will never allow Xbox to buy Take-Two. See, now, if this conversation is
Sorry.
up last year, I say you're on to something. I think, and it's just speculation at this point, it would be a huge uphill battle for Xbox and Microsoft. But here's the difference: you have games everywhere, right? They're on
Yep.
GeForce Now. They're on every streaming service, including Amazon, which is an actual competitor to Microsoft because obviously Xbox Game Pass and Luna, but they have partnered together. You can play Xbox games on PlayStation, on Nintendo. This is not an exclusive play. The driving of the point home, like even during the June showcase about how Xbox is not going to have advantages like Sony did for Call of Duty. Everyone's getting the same game. Everyone's going to play the same game. They're doing that for a reason. I think C Money might be
Yeah.
onto something about a next big publisher purchase. Is it Take-Two? I mean, if I'm going to go for something, I'm going for broke. That's the one I'm going for. But
Yeah.
we will see.
Regulators are not gonna have anything to do with this, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, they'll try to say
They'll
something because
try, but
that's what FTC loves, wasting money. But there's nothing that they can say. Grand Theft Auto is a yearly release. I'm sorry, is not a yearly release. Call of
once
Duty
a
is a yearly
decade,
release.
man. Once every
It's
10
once a
years.
decade.
Yeah.
And it's a multi-platform game. They're already by the time they announce they're gonna buy Take-Two, let's say early next year. Because I look at it as every 2 years they're dropping the big bomb, right? That's their cadence at this point. We had Bethesda in 2020, 2022, they announced ABK, and then was it 2022?
2025, they announced 2K.
And then 2025, they announced Take-Two. I think it makes sense, man. I think you get it, and then the regulators ain't got shit to say. NBA, what are they gonna do? You're gonna try to say we didn't take Call of Duty off of every console, but we're gonna take NBA 2K? Come on, man.
It's
That's
dumb. Yeah.
it's dumb. It's dumb. It's asinine. Nothing sells like outside of Grand Theft, but again, once every 10 years, nothing sells like Call of Duty does on a yearly basis, right? Like it's just doesn't make any sense. There's nothing to fight. There's no fighting. It's easy peasy. If they want it, they'll get it. No problems.
Yeah. Will Broke Boy Lewis dropped an
Broke
additional
boy.
$5 super chat. He goes, also forgot if you buy an Xbox Core Elite controller from the Microsoft store, they're giving it with a Deadpool controller holder. Got mine today. That is dope. I didn't even
Nice.
know about that. That is
Yep.
I have those
They're going
those
big on this Deadpool
yeah.
collab.
We
Does that
listen,
mean
we
we're
need
getting
the ass cheeks controller. Get working on that,
just sell it,
Microsoft.
dude.
Just
Just
sell it.
sell it. God damn, why?
Yeah,
Buy instantly.
we're going to get into
Instantly.
that on Monday's show. I got some smoke for Microsoft and their lack of liking money. But we will get to that. But listen, folks, again, this is a 70, sometimes 80-minute show. We ran a little over than normal, but we do have to get to the big Stalker, big Stalker 2 announcement. Now, if you have not had your ear or eye or eyes on social media, well, unfortunately, folks, the September 5th release date for Stalker 2, which is an Xbox and PC exclusive, unfortunately has been moved to November 20th, 2024, right before Thanksgiving here in the States. So I have the press release from GSC Game World, who are the developers of this amazing looking title. It's going to slap. It's Unreal Engine 5. The game looks phenomenal, but I'm in the camp of let them cook. This is what they had to say in their press release released early this morning. To our players, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl will now be launching on November 20th, 2024. Moving from the previous planned date of September 5th, 2024, we know that you might be tired of waiting. We truly appreciate your patience. These 2 additional months will give us the chance to fix more unexpected anomalies, or simply put, bugs, as you call them. Stalker 2 is shaping up to be everything that we envisioned. With the launch nearly here, we are incredibly excited to share more with you to give you a taste of what's coming. We're thrilled to announce that the Stalker 2 developer deep dive video, which will be released on Xbox media channels on August 12th, is coming. This detailed update will include exclusive interviews, lots of new footage of the game, and a full video walkthrough of one of the game's quests. We can't wait for you to see it and get a comprehensive understanding on how the game looks and plays. Once again, we are always grateful for your ongoing support and understanding. It means the world to us. We're just as eager as you to finally release the game for you to experience it for yourself. With love and gratitude, GSC Game World. Now, folks, look, I've seen some really good takes on this from the community. A lot of really positive, hey, let them cook. We understand you've been through it. You got to remember Russia is still, doing what they're doing. This is a team that was in the country that Russia invaded. Obviously, they were displaced. They had to be, their entire lives had to be moved. And some of their staffers, some of their actual game developers stayed behind to defend the country and died in the line of duty. This studio has gone through it. And
Thanks.
look, at the end of the day, yes, it is another delay, but we have seen delays before. And what asking you as a human, what do you want? Do you want a half-baked game and then it comes out and like, oh, it's not what we really wanted, but we understand? No, let them continue to cook. 2 more months isn't going to kill us. Now, see, Money, before I hand the mic to you, I do want to bring up Colt Eastwood specifically, and I'm a big fan of Colt. We're good friends. We hung out almost for a week in LA. I've met him and his wife multiple times. Great people. He actually put out a tweet not condemning the delay, because Colt's not like that, but he did ask a question. And I kind of want to pose this to the chat, but I also want to pose it to you. And he says this, see, Stalker 2's new release date in November really complicates the release window for now avowed Indiana Jones and Flight Simulator 2024. I think that they all could release in that window. Again, we've heard avowed is November. Again, that date leaked. It has not been confirmed. Maybe they move it up. Maybe they push it out. Maybe they just leave it where it is, right? Flight Sim 2024 is its own entity. It has its core group. I don't think that releasing close to Avowed or Indiana Jones is going to hurt that game. The same thing with Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is supposedly December, maybe. And again, I say maybe, folks, we get a surprise announcement at Gamescom that's happening soon in a couple of weeks. Maybe I'm not saying it's going to be a shadow drop, but maybe we get a release date for September rather than December. I'm not sure, But I think that, at least in my opinion, I do not think that Stalker 2's release delay to the 20th of November is going to kind of muck up, if you will, Avowed, Indiana Jones, or Flight Simulator. But let's before you answer that, let's get your hot take and your response to the announced delay.
So, this is the thing. First off, like we gotta acknowledge the fact that Stalker 2, they don't have a lot out right now that they're banking this large amount of money from that's keeping them afloat, right? I think we know at this point that Microsoft has been doing a lot of heavy lifting for that team to help them through everything that they've gone through
Yep.
and to help give them this time. Now, understand something. Xbox is one of the most amazing platform holders there is when it comes to allowing these teams to do what's right
Yep.
and take the time they need to make these games. Xbox understands, Phil understands that if they push these games out when they're not ready, you end up with a Spider-Man 2 situation where Spider Cube is a thing when people talk about and think about the Spider-Man 2 game. Okay, this is the reality of what it is. This team, they could add with all the money they spent so far on helping this team develop this game. From what we've heard, they spent enough money that they could pretty much already be owning this studio. Instead of saying, "Guys, listen, I understand that you're going through all this stuff, but we already delayed the hell out of this game. This game was supposed to come out towards the beginning of this year. Now we September. We already started thinking about our other games surrounding that. Now you need more time. We're in the end of July, right? So now you need more time to go ahead and fix this game and to not have bugs. Like, are you kidding me? Get it done, or we can't keep funding this. Like, this is a 100% conversation that could have happened, right? But this is not what they did, right? Because Phil understands that at the end of the day, the game has to be good for it to matter. And it's under, no matter how we cut it, it's under the Xbox brand, even though it's not a first party studio. People are going to be looking at this
Yet.
game. Yeah,
I
yeah,
say
I
yet.
believe they buy them. I believe they
Me
buy
too.
that studio. At this point, they could already be owned for all we know because they're not going to cost a lot of money. But I do believe they buy them. At this point, what is this team going to do after this game is not going to sell crazy, right? And it's not because it's not a good game. It's just because this is the way these games are. They're more they're not like Call of Duty, run, gun, go crazy, right? They're slower pace. It's just what happens with these types of games. So for Microsoft, it's going to be a great win to have a studio like them. So I do think they'll scoop it up. But regards to that, for them to be able to have this extra time to release the game when they feel it's it's done and it's ready to go. That's important because what it shows you is that as a developer, they are very concerned with how this game is received. They don't want it to just come out to make whatever money they're going to make
Well, they have
and get
pride in
whatever
the
score.
work that they're
They're
trying to put
proud
forth.
of their work.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And they understand that yes, you could release it and then 2 months later drop a patch, right? And be like, hey, we fixed the problems you had, guys. It was good enough for launch, but now is the real time you did it. And then all the people who beat the game, like playing it in the worst version of it, didn't get to experience what the people who waited do, right? And that's not cool, right? So for them to say, hey, we're gonna hold off, we need more time, kudos to them. Kudos to Microsoft for allowing it. This is a great thing across the board. Now, when it comes to the time of release, right? Look, let's be clear. Even in September, things were crowded, right? There's a lot of stuff coming out in
Yes.
September.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff coming out in October. There's a lot of stuff coming out in November. I mean, this is just the reality of where we're heading in the fall season, right? This is normal, right? In fall season, it's crazy. There's always a bunch of games that are coming out, and this is just the reality of what it is. That being said, the beauty of the Xbox situation, okay? Remember, normally, like if you're a PlayStation fan, okay, and you only have PlayStation, if 5 games come out in a month that you really were excited for, that you really wanted to play. Well, guess what? You're going to spend $400 on 5 games and that's it. Or you're going to have to pick and choose, right? Which one? Well, I can only get one now. Maybe next month I could get another one. Maybe the month after that I can get another one. Maybe the month after that I can get another one. We are not the same. Okay. We have Game Pass. And what Game Pass allows is for these games to come out almost on top of each other, right? But still live in a world where they don't have to worry about selling after that big 6 week, mark where the first 6 weeks are where you're going to get like your most sales. And then after that, it's going to taper off. It doesn't matter for Xbox games because they are living in this Game Pass service. That's why a game like Forza Horizon that came out and then 2 weeks later they dropped the multiplayer beta for Halo and it kind of, you know, made it so that it slowed down the growth right there and then. Well, guess what? What happened? Picked right back up. Where are we? We're at 40 million players
Yeah.
for Horizon.
Yeah.
40 million.
A niche title, according to some people in the industry. Yeah.
Exactly, right? PlayStation would die to have a 40 million player game. And Microsoft just has a bunch of these 15 to 40 million player games just all over the place now, right? Like it's just a normal thing for them. But again, with Game Pass, it helps the situation, right? It makes it so that you're not screwed if a game comes out a week later because people chose to buy that game over this game. It's not a scenario, man. We have 35 million people on Game Pass that will be able to play all of these games, even if they drop next to each other. It is what it is. Now, will some games get played more than others in the beginning? Sure. But that's just what it is. And then it will all find its place. It's a different world, man. And Xbox, again, it's easy to try to pigeonhole them into, oh, I thought Game Pass was supposed to be the sustainable thing. Why'd you close down these studios? We know why they closed down the studios they closed down. Leadership was gone. The dude left. He promised Phil, listen, Tango, Phil was so excited. So excited. When you watch that video on the roundtable when he's talking to Bethesda about the studios and the purchase, he was so pumped to have the Resident Evil dude in that studio and them to make a game together. And that dude made 0 games with Phil and the team under Xbox. Everything he released was already coming out. He made nothing. That was a heartbreaking situation for Phil. And at the end of the day, the leadership was gone. So there's nothing to have there. They didn't do this stuff. They didn't close those studios because Game Pass doesn't work. Game Pass is what allows these studios to make the games they want. Pentiment came out. Look at that game, was able to live on a service that it wasn't going to sell a lot, right? But it was
No.
able to live there, right? This is what Game Pass allows. And in a world where you have financially difficult times where people can't just be spending crazy amount of money on everything all the time, it's just not feasible, especially for gaming, which is a luxury, right? It's a hobby, right? Dude, Game Pass allows it. So at the end of the day, when you look at what is going on, having a bunch of games coming out in a small window of time, listen, it's just going to be a spike in Game Pass subscriptions, right? It's just going to make
Indeed.
people want to subscribe. That's all that means. It all of a sudden goes from a, oh my God, what are the studios going to do to, oh my God, Game Pass is going to go through the roof when all these games drop because there people are going to be like, man, I'm not going to buy all those games. I'm going to get Game Pass. That's it,
I
man.
mean, you're not wrong. See, I mean, the thing that Xbox has going for them is they have their own 10 pole titles, right? You have your Indiana Jones, right? Gears E Day. There's going to be another Halo. There's going to be another Forza. You got Indiana Jones. You have Fable. You have Perfect
Avowed.
Dark. You have all of these games coming out. But you know what's interesting? Even more so than just that, they own Call of Duty. They own Minecraft. They have they have the IP that's making bank for them in Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. It will do the same thing on the Nintendo Switch too, right? Like it's they
Facts.
are hitting literally on all cylinders. and there's no denying that they are in the driver's seat. Are they market leader now? No, they're not, but they will eventually be because Sony just cannot keep up with it. Sony was the
Cannot.
market leader. They had a lot of bangers. They did a lot of really great work for people that like those games like me, but they have fallen off a cliff
They
because
don't make
of their
money.
poor leadership and the fact that listen, they're not broke. They're a billion-dollar company, Sony, but they don't have the spendable investment dollars that you think they might. They
Hiroki
just
said
don't.
it. Hiroki Totoki came out and said, as much as these guys can creatively make great games, they don't understand the business of it.
Right.
They're not making the money. The profit is all that matters. Understand, I know it's easy to get caught up, especially if you don't understand business or don't have a business or don't live that life. Nothing matters other than profit. I don't care if you gross $100 trillion. Okay, that's great. Wow, look at what they sold. At the end of the day, if after all of that, you're only netting a few $1 billion, it means nothing. It means you're not maximizing the potential of your business. You're spending too much. You're spending too much. You cannot spend so much and make so little. It just can't be. And that's what they do. You spend $300 million on a game to make freaking Spider-Man 2, which again, I challenge any person in the world to tell me where, when you look at Spider-Man 2018 and then you look at Spider-Man 2, where is the $300 million bump? Where is
315
it?
million. You know what's
Where
even
is it?
more interesting than that? They're slated for over 400 million for Spider-Man 3. I
They
That's
were.
not
They
they
were. Remember, this is all pre-Hiroki, right?
Yeah.
Hiroki, that
Yeah.
roadmap that we saw, I know a lot of people still think about the roadmap that we saw for Insomniac as if that's what's gonna happen. I suggest you take that with a huge grain of salt at this point, and not because it wasn't true, but because Hiroki is gonna look at that and be like, "Bro, are you smoking crack? Like, what are we doing here? You think we're gonna spend that much money? Did you not see us just do that for Spider-Man 2 and look at what we made?
And look what happened.
What
Yeah.
what about what happened with Spider-Man 2? Can you tell me, developer, that you're gonna do so special and so unique that is gonna increase the amount of people who buy the next one? What are you gonna do that's so special that so many more people are gonna buy it? And it's not gonna take us 4 months to do 10 million. It's gonna take us 2 weeks to do 10 million. What are you gonna do? And they're gonna say, not a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. We're gonna I don't know, give you a new story, right? Add some co-op maybe, make it like this is it doesn't make sense. The number is already tapped out for what they're going to be spending. If they're spending that much money and selling a roughly around between 10 to 15 million is not enough when you have games that cost way less money selling that much.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of what this is, bro. They cannot do it, and as much I mean, listen, Sony's not broke, but you can honestly see, you can see it. They've told us this out of their mouths. The ponies don't want to listen, right? Ponies, they have their blinders on. They don't want to listen. Okay, but out of the mouths of Hiroki, out of the mouths of the Sony CEO, and out of what you're seeing happening, they already said it. Jim Ryan told you to your face, you are not enough.
Yep.
You are not enough. The guy who runs Sony proper, not Hiroki, who was the second in command. The guy who runs Sony proper had an interview and said the games will be ubiquitous. Wherever there is compute, the games will be.
They don't want to believe it
Hiroki
though.
said it. And guess what? They still don't want to believe it when they look. They all just cap and try to create these excuses for themselves to feel better. Bro, your tent pole game, I don't care what you say, your tent pole brand, an IP that is tent pole for Sony right now is Horizon. Let's not try to act like it's not. Horizon is a tentpole brand, a tentpole franchise that they have. And that game, the new one, the Lego version of it, is releasing day and date on the Switch. Day and date. At
And
the
it'll
end
be
of the day, you
next
can
year on
say
the Xbox, by the way. 2025
exactly,
Xbox.
exactly. We saw the interview. And what about Xbox? Oh, we have nothing to announce about Xbox
Yes.
yet. Yet. If it was a no, it would have been a no. But yet, right? Because we know something else that's supposed to be happening that might make
Yeah,
this
yeah.
all just an easier
We will
situation.
see whether that comes to fruition or
We'll
it's not.
see.
I got a lot of very very pointed comments about my suggestion.
I've seen something with my own eyes. I don't know if you saw it, Boom,
No.
but something pretty effing official that's out there that I
Yeah,
saw, and that is like,
send it to our private DM so I can take a look. I have not
oh,
seen.
I don't have it because he
Oh,
put it
okay.
the person who showed it to me put it somewhere that I don't have the link anymore
We'll
for.
talk after the show. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we'll get into it. But yeah,
But
that
listen, PlayStation is doing this. They're showing it. It's already happening. They're already releasing a major IP on a competing platform. Day one. Day
they need
mother
money,
effing
bro.
one.
They need money. I'm sorry. That's just it
They
is
need
what it
money. And
is.
this is not this is not like Xbox who has these publishers that they purchased that were already releasing games elsewhere, like a Doom, right? That is out there, that's coming day and date because again, that's one of those case by case scenarios. That's fine. We already knew that Doom was already everywhere. Horizon has been nowhere but PlayStation, nowhere. And now it's going to switch. And guess what? Once that one happens, once they pop the cherry and release a game day and date on Switch, what is it to them to just keep doing it for any game that they could fit on that?
I'm going to
And
tell
then
you this right
Switch
now.
2. Come on, man.
I'm going to say this in jest. Lock all your windows. Lock the knife drawer. If Horizon 2-pack ever comes to Xbox, oh my god, it is going to be Bethlehem in the streets.
Well, but I mean,
That's all I'm
this is
gonna
the
say
thing. We're
about
gonna
it.
laugh and make fun of it because of the ponies, right?
Yeah,
We know that this is absolutely a necessity for PlayStation for them to be able to continue to create games. If you want Sony to remain a game maker and not just a platform that hosts games, they need more money for the games that they make. Or the alternative is that they're going to greatly reduce the
yeah.
scale
It's
and
going to be once a
quality.
year rather than 3 or 4. Yep,
Well, we already know it. They already announced that,
they've
right? And
already
again,
said that. Yeah,
Ponies wants to act like that's not real. That came out of their mouths. Hopefully, their goal. He didn't say for certain we will do this. He said our goal is to release one game per holiday. They even gave you the time of year. You might as well just put your PlayStation away for the entire year, then come Christmas, take it out and say, "Ooh, I
for the
got a new
fall.
game
Yeah,
to play."
like when you put away your AC. You put away
Exactly.
the AC. It's
Now
summer's
you put
over.
away
You
your
bring out
heater, right?
you bring out your PS5, set it up, and then once the fall is done, you put it back in the closet.
Well, why is your PlayStation 5 away? Well, I just bring it out during the winter, man.
It's
It
just
heats
for
up
one
pretty
game.
good.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I'm
all right.
saying? I put it out, it heats up the house, helps lower my energy costs, and I get to play the one game that they're gonna release for the year. No, man, listen, unfortunately, we could joke about it all we want. Facts are facts. Numbers
Yeah,
don't
no,
lie.
it's true.
Numbers don't
It's true.
lie. Sony is showing you that they're looking to invest anywhere other than PlayStation. They wanted to buy Paramount. They bought some music IP, some
They
music
actually spent a lot of
licenses.
money
They bought
on a licensed
billions,
catalog. Yeah, yeah,
billions,
a lot of them recently.
billions. They could have bought studios. They could have invested in their studios with that money, but they didn't. They said, no, the money is not worth it. For them, why do you think they're so lost? Because it's all about the money right now. They're trying to figure it out. How can we make money? And as much as these ponies want to come out and hype up these games, they don't buy them. And as much as you want to talk about an Xbox game that maybe comes out and doesn't sell well, guess what, fam? We have Game Pass,
Right.
and Xbox
It's the
has
whole point
that.
of those games are to move people to the sub rather than try to get to the one sale of the game.
Exactly.
Def Leppard says Goalpost moving simulator coming to the PlayStation 5 exclusive. I mean, you're not wrong there, Def Leppard. Thank you
Oh
so
my
much
god.
for that. But
Oh
look,
my
ladies and
god.
gentlemen,
That's hilarious.
we did have a new super chat get in here, so let me just get that one. It's Sith Lord drops a very generous $2 super chat, and he says, "Tempted to hop on a plane to have breakfast at Boom, brother. That would be awesome. Maybe if we ever get big enough, we can do like a. Remember how Greg Miller used to do like the like go show everyone show up to like a wing spot. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
that popular, but that would be kind of dope to do. And then maybe who knows? Maybe we make a kind of funny esque double barrel gaming thing. Who knows? Listen, we're in this for the long haul. We make 6 years on the channel. November, what is it, third, November 3rd of this year, we'll have
Nice.
full 6 years in. And but listen, folks, thank you so much for coming and rocking with us. We had over 500 live viewers, both through Twitter and of course YouTube. We can't thank you enough for being here. Hopefully, you enjoyed the conversation enough to hit the like button. If you're finding the channel for the first time, Mrs. Boom and I are under 160 subs to our way to 15K. And you,
Let's
ladies and gentlemen,
go.
can help us get there by obviously just subbing the channel. If you're feeling super ultra generous, you hit the bell icon to know every time I do content. And I go live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. But C Money, let's get you on out of here. Sell your brand, dude. Obviously, you do a great show with the misses multiple times a week. You have a game developer show where you guys kind of sit down. It used to be him, her, and a guest. Now it's him, her, and a dev, which is awesome. Obviously, you rock with Hargeet on Friday evenings, which is tomorrow. And obviously, you also have two really good shows. They're a lot of fun. They're community blowouts. There's one where they have one at the end of the month and they have one in the middle. Talk about it. Sell your brand, brother. Tell everyone where they can subscribe to you on YouTube, but more importantly, follow you and the missus on social media.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Appreciate you, brother. Obviously, thank you so much, Boom. Love coming to the show. We have a good time. It's a weekly ritual now, just like, all right, gonna be on Boom, gonna have some fun. It's a good time, man. So thank you, man. Appreciate you. Remember, I'm here every Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely check us out here. We do have a channel called On Point for Gamers. It's a show that I do with my wife and my son and things like that. We have a good time. Excuse me. First of all, right here, See Money for Life. I'm sorry, See Money Forever. See Money for Life is my gamer tag. See Money Forever um, is me on Twitter, so you definitely come check me out there. I mean, it's I don't really like announcing things for me because it's cool, but for me, I did kind of pass a little level. Got 1,000 followers on
Nice, dude. That's
Twitter, which is
awesome,
pretty
dude.
cool. So that was dope. So definitely come check me out there. It's fun. I like to jab at ponies every once in a while. It's always a good time. Um, but yeah, so our channel On Point for
Oh,
Gamers on
wow.
YouTube.
Okay.
We do 4 shows a week. We do Sunday morning show, which is Morning Quest, which is me and my wife Doodle. We have a fun time, very community driven show. We always have fun on that show. So it's at 10 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday. So definitely check us out there. On Tuesday nights at 8 p.m., we have the Night Quest. So it's like the reciprocal of the Morning Quest, but the Night Quest. So it's very similar type show where we do a lot with the community, but the difference is sometimes we'll have a guest on. Like just past Tuesday, we had Hargeet hop on. We had a good time. The week before that, we had Pharaoh Gaming, which is he's a pretty dope dude. So definitely check that out. Excuse me. And then on Thursdays, we have our On Point the Gaming podcast, which is just going through everything that's happening for the week. Great show. We have a great time. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern, just like the Tuesday shows at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Friday nights, we have the night shift. Let's Talk Gaming, which is myself, Doodle, Hargeet, and our homie Demo Flow Gaming. Dope dude. If you don't know who he is, definitely stop by, check him out. Very, very, very fun panel. It always goes sideways on Fridays. It's crazy. Friday night, everybody's getting wild. So uh tomorrow's gonna be fun. I mean, it's definitely a good time. Definitely come check us out, man. We appreciate everybody who does. I drop the link in the chat now. So yeah, man, if you guys come by, say hi. Let us know, man. We have a lot of people who come by and say, "Man, I saw you at Booms." Let us know if you saw me here and you're coming to stop by. Say what's up. You know, we're always reading the chat, always shouting out the chat and doing that stuff. So definitely definitely do that, man. But again, we appreciate you all. You know, we also do like videos and reviews and previews and stuff. So, you know, look out for those as well. But again, man, thanks, Boom. You know, again, Thursdays, 12 p.m. Find me here. Fun times.
Super appreciate that. So who was it that just said something in the chat? Hold on just a second. Edward Lafferty said, who's been a channel member for 10 months, says that EJ Jackson sent Boom, which of course is me, an NCAA code to hand out. So
Oh
EJ,
wow.
you know what? We will extend the show for another few minutes. See if you got to bounce, brother. I completely understand. I do want to
Oh,
give it
good,
away
man.
because I would have held it for tomorrow, but we're not doing a
But there is
breakfast with
nothing
Boom.
tomorrow.
So I do have the giveaway tool in front of me. I'm gonna do the quick giveaway thanks to EJ Jackson, who's given away multiple games. I'm gonna drop that in here. I'm gonna start collecting the um, uh, the potential winners. Yeah, here it is. Okay, EJ, thank you so much, brother. I have the code in front of me. Where is it? Yes. Where are you? There it is. Okay. So, thank you so much, EJ. We truly appreciate the generosity. I'm gonna throw that code in there, folks. It's hashtag XVlog Live giveaway. Just copy and paste it. I'll wait for people to run the gambit with it. We'll wait a few minutes. We'll talk about I do have something I want to add to the context of Concord, and it just goes to show that Sony is just not reading the tea leaves correctly. So there it is, folks. I'm going to drop it in again, copy and paste it. I'll let you know how many people have the code because I have the picker in front of me. And we have one entry so far. So obviously, folks, keep doing what you're doing, and we will pick a winner momentarily. I don't know whether you saw C Money, but because they had such faith in Concord, and again, this is just a bonus topic. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. I just think it's funny. They have an $85 PS5 controller for Concord for a game that is just going to it's just going to poop the bed, so to speak. It just is. I'm sorry.
That's
Again,
wild,
not
bro.
not reading the tea. See, this is where we say there's something wrong with Sony. There's something going on there that does just not seem right. An $85 controller, and I'm not going to front. The action controller is not bad looking. It actually looks pretty cool. Uh, but it's
It looks
for a
better than the
game.
game.
It does look better than the game. Well, let's get your hot takes on that, dude.
It's just, you know, it just blows my mind. You're right. They thought this game was gonna hit, and that's why they invested in the idea of doing a controller. Listen, there's nothing more telling of the problem that Sony is in and how lost they truly are when you consider the fact that they sat down, they sat with Firewalk. Firewalk showed them whatever they were working on, and Sony said, "Bro, we need to take this off the market. This is ours. We are buying this studio because of the game that they just showed us." That to me is just it shows you everything about where Sony is right now. They bought Bungie, which, you know, fine. Bungie is a studio that has a game that's currently out there that is a relatively successful game. It's also kind of been on its last legs, right? So we don't know how much further Destiny's going to go as a brand. They have a new game coming out that playtest show that people were not happy with. They allowed this studio to go over there, and it wasn't just Sony, right? Like it wasn't just Sony. This shows the taste in the scenario that you actually could see. Sony saw the game and bought the studio. Bungie went in with full authority to shut down games that they didn't think was worth PlayStation's money. They went to Naughty Dog, one of the most successful studios under the PlayStation banner, saw Factions that was almost ready to come out, was only not released because of delays, and said, "Nope, canceled, gone." They saw Twisted Metal. Nope, canceled, gone. They saw the Spider-Man, Spider-Man multiplayer game. Nope, canceled, gone. But they saw Concord and said, "No, no, no. Sony, you made the right call buying this studio. This game is the winner." Bro, look at what they did. They saved Concord, killed these other games for what? Look at what happened. We all knew from the very beginning when they just showed us this hamburger simulator, right? This hamburger jiggle simulator. We all knew that something was up. Why are they showing us this? Why do they put so much energy into the burger? And then when you look at the opening, the last trailer they showed before the beta dropped, they spent so much energy on the CG or the CGI for the sauce and the food, right? They want to make the sauce look really good and the food look really good, right? So much energy on that one. And then when you play the Concord beta, there's the little CGI in front of it, and they spent all this time on showing this dude's tongue when he's talking to show, look at this detail we're showing. This guy sticks out his tongue every once in a while when he talks. Let's show that. They spent all this energy on doing that on a game that is so generic. It's insane.
Yeah,
It's
it's
insane. It's insane. I don't
it,
know how anybody at Sony, who are supposedly like supreme tastemakers, right? Like these are people who know how to pick them, right? This is the way we used to see them, or the way they were seen as, man, they know how to make a good game. This is what they know. They know how to get a good game going. Bro, they don't. They don't.
yeah, not
They don't.
based on that. But listen, folks, we got a winner. Once again,
Oh, winner, winner,
EJ
chicken dinner.
Jackson, thank you so much for the NCAA 2025 college football code. Blade in the chat has won. Blade, listen, brother, either email me, you go to about page, you can get the business email there. You can DM me on Twitter if you are a Twitter or X user. I'm at Mr. BoomStick XL. Or you can, of course, message me on Xbox Live, same gamer tag, Mr. BoomStick XL. Once again, shout out to EJ Jackson for the ridiculous generosity donating that code. The winner of this one code is, of course, Blade in the chat. Blade, congratulations for winning. Again, 3 ways to reach out to us. If you don't, I mean, obviously, we'll if we can't get in touch, we will make the efforts to get you that code one way or another. And if we don't have a winner, if we can't get in touch with you by Monday, we'll just redraw. But don't sweat it, brother. We're going to try our damnedest to get you the code. And again, that's Blade on in the chat right now. BLADE, like the character. Congratulations. And of course, a big thank you to the ridiculous amount of super chats and channel membership messages and new channel members that we got today. We cannot thank you enough for the support. And it really does allow for us to do these monster giveaways just for some behind the scenes stuff. We mailed out the 5 prize packages yesterday. It costs, right? These things cost $130 to mail it out. I mean, everything is expensive, and we listen. We will continue to do it because of the generosity that comes in from you fine folks. If we didn't have the help, we couldn't do it. My dad had a lot of great sayings. I talk about 2 of them each and every end of the show. Here's another one, and this was great for, maybe you should use this for your kids, because he used it for us when we were kids. I'd go to my dad and say, "Oh my God, Dad, look at the Sears catalog." That's right, I'm that old. He'd be like, "The new GI Joes," and I'd be like, "Oh my God, I want this one. I want this. I want the hovercraft, and I want the dragonfly." And he would look at me. My father was a blue collar dude, but he was a taper and did sheetrock. Like, he was he was a breadwinner. One salary, did the whole household back in the days. He used to tell me this: "Son, where he would say, Craig, if I have it, you have it. If I don't have it, I can't give it. And that is like a logic bomb. So if we don't get the help, we just can't give as much as we do. And we love to give it. We love to give away stuff, which of course we did a couple of weeks ago, and we will continue. This fall is going to be bonkers for the channel with the stuff that we're giving away. And a big thank you to you fine folks for allowing us to do it by donating and being so generous to us. So thank you again for that. From me and of course the money. Thank you so much for hanging out with us
Absolutely.
today. Again, shout out to EJ Jackson for the code for NCAA 25.
Yeah,
Congratulations
he
to
said he has
Blade.
one. He said he's gonna give us one to do on our show. So appreciate
Oh,
you,
that
EJ.
is awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you, brother.
see, thank you, EJ. That's very kind of you. We
Thank you,
super
bro.
appreciate the generosity. And of course, I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me. Hopefully, one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week on the newest episode of X Vlog Live.